Welcome to a special edition of SFL Preseason Football here on NETMA. We're so excited to have each and every one of you join us this evening for a special edition of the preseason coming up before season 19 of the Simulation Football League. Hello everyone, I'm Tyler Falk, host of NETMA, and alongside me, where else would this person? He's been all over the world pretty much. He's somehow found his way into the broadcast booth. It's none other than the general manager of the Canton Classics, Mike. Oh, howdy Mike, how we doing?
Oh, is this the broadcast booth? I thought this was the concession stand. My mistake.
Well, that's down the floor and to the left. But Mike, thanks for joining us. It's preseason, the one and only preseason game for each of these two clubs. Lots to look forward to, lots of new names to talk about, especially for Canton. Canton is no longer known as just hosting the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They now can boast a professional Simulation Football League team, and we'll talk more about what that means later tonight. But Mike, just walk us through what it means for Canton to have a football team again.
Oh, it's a big deal. We haven't had a professional team in the city of Canton for several years now, since the Arena League died out. And with all the changes that the city of Canton is going through right now to expand and grow and become that pure tourist destination, like cities like Orlando and stuff like that, having us as the digital arm of the city of Canton is a big deal.
And we are underway here in Canton, Ohio. First time here at Fatherhood Festival Field. And the return is made by Rego Dinero, pick out of Annapolis this weekend as we get going, as we introduce you to the first time the Louisiana Revolution offense here in season 19. Tommy Utah is the quarterback, with Randy Squarebush now the lone back for Louisiana as they went from a two-back system to a one-back system. Cameron Collier is the fullback. Lyric Da Vinci, Chase Earl, Salvatore Napoli, and Rego Dinero are the wideouts. Levy Lease and John Michael Sudduth are the tight ends. And in special teams tonight, Odus Boudreau does the kicking as the special teams player of the year from a season ago, and Walter Melanishin does the punting.
Sounds a little offensive to me, Tyler, and I'm not trying to be defensive here.
What you all will come to experience is Mike's insatiable and talent for humor. 2nd and 6 after the run by Squarebush. They'll run again up the middle. Nothing doing this time. Stop at the line of scrimmage, and let's introduce you for the first time the Canton Classics defense. Odette Boudreau, Chris Porter, Gary Burney, and Mike All are the defensive linemen. Gary Clem, Mark Gronick, and Adam Chance are the linebackers. Connor Darian and Jay Rock make up the cornerbacks, with Evan Lacey, Frank Bernstein, and Bob Funk at safety.
They are quite the dynamic crew, let me tell you here. See,
interception
would show you.
Over the middle, picked off by Evan Lacey, and that's the first turnover forced by the Classics here on first down.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of people that had a lot of things to say about you guys in your defensive backfield last year, Tyler, especially you with that impressive streak that you had, but it's nothing compared to what Canton has put on the field, sir.
And we'll talk here about the Canton Classics offense here in just a moment. So I apologize for the buffering. See if I can't get that fixed for everybody here in just a moment. First play for the Canton Classics offense is going to be a run up the middle. Robert Johnson does the ball-carrying duties here for Canton, and he picks up a good chunk of 4 yards. The Canton Classics offense here in season 19 for their inaugural season comes out with Cameron Curtis under center, Robert Johnson the tailback, Chris Comisac the fullback, KJ Alatio, Kendra Hall, Al Dillapre Sr., Mike Twinster with the wideouts with Jack Wall at tight end, Girth Lord is the center on the offensive line, Rob Evans and Doug Six at kicker and punter. Curtis going to wheel and deal, and it's nearly picked off by Tank Bennett for the Revolution and brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, it was an ill-advised pass with so many white jerseys around Jack Wall.
And Mike, go ahead and call this next game while I try and get all these errors buffed out.
All right, you go ahead and buff yourself, Tyler. So we come out in an empty backfield for Canton. We got Louisiana in a dime 3-2 look. Curtis takes the snap and gets sacked instantaneously by number 99. Which, is that Leonard Butler Sr.? I don't remember.
Number 99 is Chance Wall, the defensive tackle, and that'll bring up 4th down here for the Revolution, as we'll introduce you to the Revolution defense here in just a moment, probably in the next defensive possession for them, as it's Rob Ems to try and tack home a 50-yard long field goal.
Rob M has been putting in a lot of time in the practice field, kicking field goals from longer and longer distances, and as we see here, it has paid off.
First points in Canton Classic football history is a field goal by the way of Rob Ems. A 50-yard field goal is up and good. 3-0 Canton. And just in case you're wondering what the SFL is or what you're watching tonight, the Simulation Football League was a league that started off with 7 teams, and there's no controllers to control the action on the field. Teams submit game plans with their coaching staff, and that gets all put into the game engine, and everything comes to life right before your very eyes, including a walk-off field goal in the season 17 championship ball game. Lots of fun, lots of interaction, lots of community-focused content. That's what this is what all this league is about. So, Mike, take us through your story here and how you got to the SFL.
Sure thing, Tyler. So, wife and I, back in the early days of 2020, before the pandemic, we decided to get rid of cable and cut the cord, if you will. And I happen to have a Samsung TV, and so I was flipping through my Samsung TV Plus app to see what options I would have now that I was a streamer. And as I was flipping through the channels, I saw what looked to be a football game, and I was like, oh cool, I can watch football as I'm using my app. And then I went through a couple more channels before I realized that wasn't regular football. That looked more like a video game. So I went back, and sure enough, it was a video game, but there was real live broadcasters talking, and I couldn't believe that. I was like, this is a video game, but these are real people.
And struggles out of a tackle and slings it over the middle, caught for huge yardage for the Revolution. Chase Earl with a nice catch down to the Louisiana 43. Continue, Mike. Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's okay. That was a great play. But yeah, so I was enraptured watching this game and found out it was the Simulation Football League. And what I did right away was dig in deep in the internet and search everything I could out on the SFL and join the Discord, and did a bunch of research and realized that one of my favorite spots, defensive end, was one that I would fit well into, and got in for season 1 of the minors, and was drafted by the Jacksonville Kings for season 15, and went on to become their GM and have a good run there in Jacksonville before being approached by Christian and Adam about being their GM, and jumped on board right away and haven't looked back.
Now it's 2nd and 3. Handoff, square bush near side. Can't get out of that tackle. Loses one back to the midfield stripe.
Gary Clem is one of the more underrated outside linebackers in the league, and showed right there just why he shouldn't be so underrated.
3rd down now. Utah looking over the middle. Caught near the 40-yard line and down at the 41 for the Revolution. It's Lyric Da Vinci, who just signed out of Charleston, picks up the nice catch. And I want to welcome in the 3rd member of our broadcast crew tonight. Miss Rowena joins us tonight. She'll be handling some player interviews as well. Rowena, how are we doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Tyler. Thank you very much. I'm honored. It's an absolute pleasure to be joining you all here, and I'm looking forward to getting these interviews.
Thank you, Rowena. We'll get to here in just a second as Utah is thrown to the turf. Loss of 4 on the play on the sack. Huge tackle made by big number 75, Gary Burney, who we're going to talk to right now. And Rowena, go ahead and introduce Mr. Burney to us.
Hello, yes, I'm here with Gary Burney right now. Hi, Gary, how you doing?
Hi, Rowena. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, sir. I'm well. So, I hear that they call you the Beast, which is a terrifying name for a defensive tackle. How'd you get that nickname?
Well, I as soon as my best buddy Gary Clem called himself Captain Crush, I said, "Well, I need some kind of a catchy name too. I like that Captain Crush, but I needed something catchy." And I thought, well, the Beast is the same as Bernie, and it was the BB, so I thought, that'll work. That's how
I love
I came
it.
up.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And you're right there with Gary Clem, correct? Gary,
That,
how
that's
did you
correct.
get how did Gary get the nickname Captain Crush?
Well, we was actually going back and forth, and we wanted it. We wanted a catchy name. Both of us did actually. And when I came up with that, I was actually over at Gary Burney's house because we're good friends. We used to work together. We do a lot of things together and travel together. So I was over here and was thinking about it, and with Clem being my last name, Captain Crush, it just kind of went together, and that's how we came. That's how I came up with that anyway. And then that's how Gary came up with Beast, and here we are.
There you are, Captain Crush and the Beast. Wow, you both sound pretty terrifying. I hear you both have some really interesting hobbies as well. For instance, I hear you do magic. Is that true? What's the trick that makes you a hit at the parties?
Well, I do, and it's. I used to be a big hit at the parties. I used to do magic all the time. I do a lot of stuff. I don't know if you know who David Blaine was and things like that. He did a lot of card magic,
Yeah.
make cards disappear out of the deck, end up behind some glass, or whatever the case might be. I learned how to do that a long time ago.
Oh wow.
It was
Mr.
probably
Birdie?
when I was.
Just going to jump in real quick. That's your second sack of the drive here as Louisiana now has to set up for a field goal. That's something we're looking to see here in Canton later on the season.
Well, I hope so. Plan on doing that as much as I can.
Kick is on its way now from Boudreau. This one about a 30, maybe 41-yard attempt up and good, and we're tied up once again at 3 apiece.
That's awesome, thanks. Gary Burney, over to you, the Beast. We know you do music. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your upcoming CD slated for an August release?
Yeah, I'm currently working with a friend of mine in his recording studio. It's going to be a cover release. It's not an original. I'm kind of, I do a lot of older stuff that maybe you're not familiar with, but I'm kind of like a crooner. I do a lot of Frank Sinatra and people like that. So I'm releasing a cover CD of 3 of my favorite singers, which is Frank Sinatra, Billy Joel, and Neil Diamond. So I'm doing a little cover CD with 3 songs of each of their classics.
That's amazing. I grew up listening to all of them, so I know exactly who you're talking about, and I'm definitely going to be making sure I make my purchase of your cover.
Right.
I'll make sure he sends you a copy.
Yeah, I'll send you a copy.
I'm looking forward to that. Now I have another question for the both of you. So, you both come from Canton. You both come to Canton, from the Portland Fleet. Now, from what I understand, that was on purpose. The SFL is all about creating and building friendships, and you two obviously have done that and done that well. Now, what made you both decide to come a package deal?
Okay, well, I'll start with that. When I joined the league, immediately when I found out what the SFL was and joined the league, I told my buddy Gary, the Beast, about the league, and I said, "Man, you gotta do this." I said, "You gotta do this with me," and he did. And we also, and it's quite funny because we also have 2 other friends of ours in the league that I brought a season later, which one of them is the quarterback for Louisiana, which is Tommy Utah. and his brother Johnny Reno plays for the Minnesota Legend. Now I worked with both of them. We all work at Lowe's. Gary used to work with us until he retired a couple years ago. So, but speaking of Canton, the reason when we came here, I mean, well, the reason we did that, Mike All, when we only went to one day to the convention last year, and we met Mike in person. I always knew Mike, always talked to Mike All, and we became, we've always been good friends and stuff, and he's always been trying to recruit both of us to Jacksonville, and we always said no. So we always said no, Mike. I said it's good. We'll stay in Portland because we never planned on leaving Portland. We never did. And Portland's a great team. They got a great front office. Jacob, Mel, and Nelson. Their front staff is phenomenal. I love them guys. They brought me in the league. They brought Gary in the league. I can't say nothing but great things about them.
Yeah, it was, Rowena, it was a hard decision for Gary and I to make. When Christian and Mike contacted us and we talked, we told them we needed a couple of days to think about it. Gary and I,
it was more like
I think it was about a week.
Right.
And Gary and I were, shooting it back and forth, and it was a hard decision for us to make because, Portland had been good to us, and they were great guys, and I wish them all the best in the world. But we took this opportunity because of what Canton had to offer.
Right.
They're a team that is looking to do a lot more things than just SFL football, and that really is what made our decision.
And Gary's from the Beast is from Cincinnati, Ohio. So it's his home state.
Right.
And he was real excited about that.
Yeah. So that's what really made us make the move.
Well, they, I must say, are very lucky to have you, and I'm sure they know that too. Thank you very much for making that really big move, and thank you both for your time, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Okay, and I think we can bring it back to the game.
Thank you, Rona. Thank you, Gary Clem and Gary Burney. Canton driving. Nice pass and catch. Threaded the needle right to KJ Alatio. Or check that. That's Al Dillapre Sr. on the grab over the middle at the 21. He'll find his way down to.
Yeah, and some interesting facts about the guys we just spoke with, Tyler and Rowena. And I'll just go over their basic statistics first. Gary Burney, our DT1, number 75, 6'3", 289, lives in Texas currently. He was actually the youngest member of AARP. And I don't know if you guys know that or not. Gary Clem, our outside linebacker 1, number 41 in Canton, also 6'3", 245 pounds in Texas. Interesting fact about him is his parents actually named him after himself.
Well, there we go. Thank you, Michael. 2nd and 10 now, and we want to welcome everyone jumping in and saying hello this evening. Johnny Reno, Gerald Smith, Rego, Brendan. I have no idea how to pronounce that username, but Brendan, thanks for joining us. A pass over the middle finds Kendra Hall. New signing over from Vancouver, jumps back home. One of the hometown faces here in Canton. Kendra leaving Vancouver in the offseason, coming over to Canton, Ohio.
Tyler, I believe that is Brendan is a sinner.
Oh, there we go. That would probably make sense, right? Brendan,
well,
AK.
if he's a sinner, sure, yeah.
There we go. Curtis going to look for a swing pass left side, finds Robert Johnson, and Robert Johnson is going to rumble down the field down to the 7-yard line. Canton knocking on the door.
Yeah, Robert Johnson, he definitely loves to put on a show. He's a big bruising back who actually has some pretty good hands, and with that swing pass there, proved it. Managed to pick up the first down to make a 1st and goal for them, which see what they can do with their first time and the goal line area.
I know we only mentioned a few people, but welcome to everybody jumping in. Axel, Laura, Kendra, Johnny. Probably said Johnny twice. It's another swing pass. This time to the fullback, Chris Komisak, and he can't get out of the tackle at the 6-yard line, and now it's 2nd and goal. And that is going to take us to the end of the first quarter of play here in Canton, Ohio. It's the Classics 3, Revolution 3 as we enter into the second quarter. Tyler, Falk, and Mike all here on the call here for this preseason matchup between the Canton Classics and Louisiana Revolution here as we get ready for the 19th regular season of the Simulation Football League. Thanks for joining us tonight. Canton is knocking on the door, one of the newest expansion teams here in the league. It'll hand off to Johnson, left side, trying to bust through the pack of defenders, but he cannot get by Evan Arthur and company, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, it was a nice evenly matched first quarter, Tyler, and now we get to start from a nice close position in the second quarter to see if we get to put a score on the board right away before pushing it further in to see what Louisiana can do.
One set near side, Reno, Mike Ryan comes up with a huge deflection, denying the touchdown pass intended for Jack Wall. 4th and goal.
Some interesting notes about Jack Wall, Tyler. He is the tight end 1 for Canton, wears number 81. He's 6 foot 7 inches, weighs 255 pounds. He's from New York, and he can name every type of bird as long as it's a pigeon.
As long as it's a pigeon. Okay, there we go. 4th down, on comes the field goal unit for Canton. Rob Ems hit a 50-yard earlier in the ball game to get things going. This one just a little chip shot. Hopefully he's brought a sand wedge here. 19-yard attempt from the left hash. Snap spot. Kick is up. It is good, and Canton retakes their 3-point advantage here at home at Fatherhood Festival Field. It's 6-3.
That's some very good alliteration on your part, Tyler.
There we go. And again, want to welcome everyone who is joining us tonight. In case you're wondering what you're watching, this is a preseason matchup of the Simulation Football League. Canton Classics versus Louisiana Revolution. It's the players that decide the outcome rather than controllers. And game plans are put into the simulated engine, and what you see happens in real time in front of you. No having to press the sprint button extra time, no having to rely on finger movements to make sure your players do exactly what you want them to do. You just put in your plays and you find out what happens as Rigo De Niro gets the ball on the return, gets it all the way to the 27-yard line, and this is where the Revolution will take over here on their first possession of the second quarter.
Line up in a heavy set here for Louisiana.
All right, the run with Squarebush near side. Squarebush off to the races near the 50-yard line. Inside Canton territory, and finally dragged down at the 43-yard line. Randy Squarebush had to sit and divvy up snaps in the backfield with Colin Hart last season. This season, it's all about Squarebush.
Yes, Squarebush, one of the 4 horsemen of the minor leagues. Coming in as a rookie last season and now getting his chance to shine single-handedly, and he did well there with that carry.
But just a couple plays, the Revolution are on the other side of the 50-yard line. 4 wide outs and Squarebush in the backfield. Utah back to pass, looking over the middle. A dangerous pass, tipped 3 times, and finally picked up. And Canton goes back the other way. It's a routine tip drill, some would say, as Canton are able to turn this one over. It's the second turnover of the ball game, and it's Bob Funk taking over this one.
Bob Funk also coming over from Portland, like the 2 Garys. Some information about Bob Funk. He's the free safety 1 on Canton, wears number 44. He's 6 foot 4 inches, 220 pounds, also from New York. And he actually believes pineapples are apples that are grown in pine trees.
I see. 1st and 10, Canton after the interception. Curtis going to look to throw deep over the middle, tipped up, and they return the favor. Back goes the Revolution the other way, and right back to about where they had the ball earlier. Rolleman Hood, the cornerback, comes away with the interception.
Tyler, am I correct in remembering that I think Rolleman Hood is the team's all-time leading interception?
I think
maker?
you'd be correct there, my friend. Rolleman Hood leads the team in interceptions for the Revolution all time. Just like that, adds a unofficial interception to his tally as the Revs are back on offense. Quick drop, out route near side. Caught by Da Vinci, turning upfield and picking up the first down inside the red zone at the Canton 18-yard line.
Lyric Da Vinci getting his chance to shine as a wide receiver after spending several seasons as a tight end in Charleston.
Revolution were very excited to go ahead and grab him in the offseason. One of the top targets I've heard in their war room. 1st and 10 now from the 18-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield. Utah back to pass, flings it near side. Caught at the 14-yard line, picks up 4 yards on the pitch and catch to Salvatore Napoli.
Yeah, that was an interesting catch there by Napoli. I didn't know that he didn't realize he didn't have to trip over the sideline there.
Got to get at least 1 foot in bounds here in the SFL. Only need 1, not 2, like you see in the NFL. And it's 2nd down Revolution as they're on the 14-yard line now. Bump coverage from the cornerbacks on the outside. Well, run with Squarebush through the middle. Has a couple of blocks. Still fighting off tacklers. And finally tripped up at the 6-yard line of Canton. It's 1st and goal, Louisiana.
Nice strong run up the middle there by Squarebush. He's a very talented back. Spent a lot of time in the minor leagues perfecting this run style before learning what it was like to be a running back in the pros last season.
1st and goal from 5-yard line.
4 wide receivers come onto the field here at 1st and goal. Linemen and linebackers shift in opposite directions, trying to confuse Tommy Utah. They've already forced 2 mistakes out of him, and they hand off to Squarebush, who gets hit behind the line. He does well enough to get to fall forward back to the line of scrimmage here, and it's 2nd and goal.
Taken down in the backfield there by Odette Boudreau, who's actually the wife of Louisiana's kicker, Otis Boudreau.
Lots of familiar connections here in this just preseason matchup between the Classics and Revolution. Utah going to look to throw, looking near side toward the end zone. Touchdown, Revolution! It's the signing out of Baltimore who came over from the championship Vultures. It's John Michael Sudeth. And the Revolution take the lead for the first time in the ball game, and Otis Boudreau will come onto the field and try and tack home an extra point to make it a 4-point ball game.
I see they got Whisker Lafouche holding the ball for him.
Snap spot. Boudreau's kick is up and good. 10-6 your scoreline here in Ohio. And we want to welcome back in Rowena, as she's got a couple of more folks to interview for us tonight. Rowena, over to you.
Thank you very, very much, Tyler. I'm here with Van and Van Lacey and Brian Craven. I'm going to be starting my questions over with Van. Van, I hear you're coming off a monster season with the Lone Star Glory, leading that team in interceptions. Now, how do you feel coming to Canton in what appears to be an already very stout defense?
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving the opportunity, and I'm so happy to be blessed to have the first interception in Canton Classics. This iteration of the Canton Classics.
That's awesome. No, that's great. Now, they say defense wins championships, so I'm sure the Classics are very glad to have you here. What's it been like in your new locker room?
Oh, it's been great. It's been, everyone says they have a family atmosphere in the locker room, but excuse me, but here in Canton, it really does feel like family. I mean, we joke around each and every day. We have weekly meetings or bi-weekly meetings where we discuss, important team matters. But so we're very businesslike, but we know how to have fun as well.
And work hard, play hard, right? Now,
Exactly.
now some people in the SFL may know, but some may not. Now, you play in the league for a very special reason and in the memory of a very special person. I was so touched when I heard this story. Now, can you please tell us and those that don't know about that and how the SFL plays into that purpose?
Yes, 2019, lost my son, Evan Lacey. Um, the he was murdered and it's still unsolved as of now. So going through that situation and with the pandemic and everything, I was just seeking for outlets, productive outlets, things I can get my mind, um, put my mind on in a more positive manner. And so I just happened, just like Mike, I happened to be scrolling through the channels and came across a football game, and I was like, hold on, wait a minute, this is not NFL. Is it like an arena league or is it some other league? And then I realized it was actually a video game. So I thought it was interesting, and so I decided to make a player in my son's name because he always played football. Well, he played multiple sports. He was a great athlete, and my wife and I just felt like it would be a good way for us to continue to hear his name being called. Um, just to ease what we miss in him and his success. And
Right.
so I ended up joining, and the community has been great as a whole. I mean, everybody has been very supportive to our cause and have also helped in getting his story out. So, but yeah, so I'm that's how I ended up in the league, and we still enjoy hearing his name being called whenever he make big plays.
Absolutely. And we will continue to shout his name as you continue to make big plays in his name. His spirit lives on through the play. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Brian Craven, have I got you on the line here?
Yep, I'm
Now-
here. Sorry, I was just taking a drink of coffee.
No, of course, and so you should. Hi. So there's a lot of San Jose lineage in this game with Adam Chance and KJ Alejo, both coming from the flight. And you are actually the first head coach in flight history and got to coach Ross Napoli. How was your chemistry then? And is that something you're enjoying in Louisiana?
That's 100% the reason I joined Louisiana. Ross and I developed a friendship. Barry Clem was also part of that team as well. We've got a lot of guys that came through there, and but yeah, it was 100% the relationship and the friendship that Ross and I developed when he was a rookie playing the minors, playing for San Jose, and when I was looking to be a free agent. Louisiana didn't actually have a spot for me at the time. I didn't even think to ask, and then all of a sudden, he and Gerald realized they had it, and it was done deal. That's where I'm going.
Done deal, and then chemistry's just been great ever since you joined.
Well, he and Gerald are really hard to work with. I mean, they're no, I'm kidding. No, it's fantastic. It's fantastic, and.
Right.
I had to slip that in there.
Perfect. This goes great into my next question.
I had to slip that in there.
See, I hear that you've been known to be such a jokester. Now, would you say you're the life of the locker room?
No. We've got several. I mean, Leonard Butler. I mean, okay. First of all, I work graveyard, and so often about 4 o'clock in the morning, something really, I'm struggling to stay awake, and some weird stuff gets posted, and it's me doing it. But no, Leonard Butler is. We got a lot of characters. Dante Grimm is hilarious. Chance Wald, we've got a lot of guys pop in. I'm just one piece of the team in that regard, and I am really immature for my age, though. So no, that definitely plays. But
Right. Immature, some may say. Young at heart, others may say. I'd like to go for the latter. But
it depends on if you're talking to my ex-wife or talking to my friends.
Sure.
Well.
Okay, I'm going to move on to my next question real quick. So you've been with the Revolution for the last 2 seasons, with the last one resulting in an East Division championship. What does this team need to do to repeat that success, or possibly even achieve more?
Well, it's interesting. So we went in last season with the 2-back thing. Nobody else had done that, and it was kind of an experiment. Awful lot of cap space to be tied up in position. But we thought, let's see how this goes. We knew we had a good defense. I'm very proud of the work that Gerald and I did last season to get us there. The interesting thing is, my preseason planning and all of that stuff. I know. We lost some good players to free agency, and honestly, it freed us up to diversify a little bit, and I think teams are going to have a harder time defending us this season than they did last season. We've just got to have Rego Dinero fall to us in the draft. Huge deal for us. He's been very helpful, very impactful in that position. The guys we've added, Michael Sudduth has got a fantastic build for his player and is doing fantastic stuff for us there. And then we just kind of tweaked the roster a little bit and added the second tight end, and just did a few different things. And I actually feel very comfortable with where we are. And that's not my nature. In terms of coaching, I'm an old high school coach. I put in the work, and I've done everything I possibly can, and I'm still sure something's going to go wrong. It's going into the game. So to feel this comfortable about where we are right now, and to feel this optimistic is a little bit unusual. I feel pretty good about it. So
it's a new feeling. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more and seeing where else you succeed here. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, I was there with Van Lacey and Brian Craven. Thank you both for your time. It's been great getting to know you both a bit better. Back to you and Mike.
Thank you, Rowena. Actually, I want to keep Coach Craven on the phone just a little bit longer if we can have you, Coach, because just like a bunch of us here in the league, you do a little bit of content creating yourself. You have a little podcast called Coach's Corner out there. Tell the folks at home just a little bit about your show.
Well, I knocked the dust off the microphone a little bit to be doing this, because I haven't really done anything for a while. I'm being a little bit of a diva. My space is not exactly how I want it, and so I haven't. I've been meaning to fire up the show again, but I need a nice, comfortable office chair, and I haven't picked one up yet. So I started doing the show my rookie season with Vancouver, and then it was just these little 5 to 7 minute things. I wanted to touch on topics that I didn't feel like the other content creators were doing, and so I did a little bit different things that way, and then it kind of evolved into these long form conversations, usually with Slim Shady, the linebacker for Louisiana, but Ross has been on a few times. I've had people on, and I actually want to try to be a little bit semi-regular this season. I think I probably only put out a couple of episodes last season. I just, work and life and stuff. I couldn't muster the energy to do it. But the plan is to get back out there a little bit. And,
so does that mean, Coach? Sorry. Does that mean I have to get you a seat warmer since you're in South Dakota, or do I have to get you an extra, like an extra cushion or something like that? What can we do to get you back on the airwaves?
I'll just send me your account information, and I'll be doing a little bit of shopping.
That sounds. That sounds like a fan, my friend. Well, everyone here and everyone at home is welcome to join Coach, to join myself. We love having you, and Coach, it's been a while since you've even been on NETMA, and I hate to plug my own show like this, but Coach, we'd love to have you back on. We love hearing your voice, love hearing you and your opinions, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Coach, walk us through one more time. Give us a hot take that you find coming up for season 19.
Okay, yeah, I've got one I've been thinking about. I've been seeing people dunking on Motor City a little bit, and I say give it time, and kudos to them for doing something different. I love the league. I love what we got going on here, but it's so boring sometimes. Just everybody running 50 XA post and gun straight and all slants and blah, blah, blah. Come on, applaud the ingenuity to try something different. It may work, it may not. Some time to develop and see how it goes. I'm all for it. I love seeing something different. I love seeing people do things a little bit different. We're limited with how different we can be with this particular format, but they're doing it, man. So that's what's been on my mind lately. It's like, enjoy the ride. Looking forward to seeing what they do.
Yeah, let me just touch on something quick, Coach. It's good to talk to you, Coach.
As well, Bill. As well.
And your podcast was the first one I ever appeared on, and boy, I've done a lot of stuff since then. So thank you for that start. And I really do hope you bring your show back, and at your age, it would be nice for you to be regular as well. I would be happy to go on the show with you anytime need be.
Definitely.
But I was curious, Coach. So you changed positions last season. You moved up from linebacker to defensive line. How do you feel that went for you?
Oh, it's fine. I'm a team guy first. In my playing days, I was a linebacker, and then my brief college career as a safety until I got hurt. And I kind of had my eye on maybe being a safety when I came into the league, but just wanted to do what the team needed. And we knew when we went to Louisiana that Blake would be coming back. He was away. He had just joined the Navy and was going to be busy, and not when he'd be coming back. And that was just that was a need, was for me to make that move. And so there I am, just kind of holding down that side of the line.
And off through the middle, and it's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chris Comasek. The first touchdown in Classic history, and that finds Canton out in front.
A quick note about Chris Comasek, the fullback for Canton. He wears number 28. He's 6'4", 240 pounds, from Pennsylvania, and he once found $1 in a public toilet.
Well, I hope he disinfected that dollar, or...
That ain't worth it. That ain't worth it.
Nah. I would probably side with that as well, Coach. Rob Ems comes on to try and tack home the extra point. Just barely does get it off, and Canton have a 6-point lead. It is 16-10. Canton with 45 seconds to go, and though it's a preseason game, it's good to talk about where these teams are at the moment. Canton, the only expansion team to not draft a single player for their opening day roster. They were able to find everybody they wanted to in the free agency market. That has to be a really huge weight lifted off your shoulders there, Michael, general manager of Canton.
It was a nice feeling, Tyler. We knew this was going to be a big thing, just with the fact that our owners came from the minor leagues and never played it down in the pros, and so we knew we were going to be a team of firsts. And I wanted to do something big in honor of that. And so my goal coming into this was to be the first expansion team in the progression era to sign a full roster and not have to make any draft picks. And it went down to the wire, but it was a good campaign, and we got everybody we were looking for, and I felt really good about that.
Appreciate you, Mike. We got a flag on the play. Seen a lot of flags fly tonight, more than we're used to seeing, and maybe some undisciplined play as Canton gets off the ground. And unfortunately, Adam Chance, who just jumped into the chat and who's part owner there in Canton, comes up with a unusual pass interference. He's wearing no bars on his helmet tonight. Likes to show his face. Likes to show his face when he's at his concerts, when he's a member of Home Free, a cappella group, one of the groups that was on an NBC show not too long ago. And Adam and Christian Alacio, IndyCar test driver, are the new owners here in Canton, and they've done a really good job setting Canton up for success. Unfortunately, Adam unable to keep his hands clean and picks up the penalty as the ball is handed off to Squarebush, and Squarebush picks up 8 and calls a timeout.
Yeah, some interesting note about those owners. Adam Chance plays outside linebacker 2 for us, wearing number 91. He's 6'2", 236 pounds, from California, and he is currently wearing socks with sandals. KJ Alacio, who plays wide receiver 4 for us, wears number 11. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, from the state of Indiana, and he is currently training to play the electric triangle in an a cappella band.
Electric triangle, I'd love to see it. Looks like they're stuck in a running play, but Squarebush able to get out of a couple tackles and fight for extra yards. First down on a long third down here in a heavy set, and they make the down marker change over. Another handoff for Squarebush, left side, still struggling to get down the field. This clock's going to run for a little bit, and finally Louisiana will call a timeout. They have 1 remaining, though it won't matter as they're going to have to try and heave-ho it down the field for a Hail Mary to close out the first half of play.
Looks like coach there isn't too happy with the quarterback.
Well, it was an interesting play scheme. That's something you come to realize here in the league is sometimes you're stuck in a bad formation and you just can't get out of it. And fortunately, well, now the Louisiana have a 56-yard Hail Mary attempt coming up.
Hail Mary is always a big chance. That's why it was named the Hail Mary.
Utah launches it down the field. It is batted up and around and incomplete, and that will end the first half of play. It's Canton here at home on top 16-10. Mike, walk us through that first half and all the interviewees we've talked to: Van, 2 Garys, and Brian.
Yeah, so it was a nice defensive game. Some breakthroughs on the offense. Louisiana had 81 passing yards to Canton's 141, which I think may have made all the difference right now. There's been a few turnovers here and there, 2 interceptions against Louisiana, 1 against Canton. But it's been back and forth, and it's a very, very close game. It's a difference of 6 points right now. And I think going into the second half, each team is going to come out and for lack of a better term, balls to the wall to put points on the board and come home victors. It was really good to hear what everybody had to say, the 2 Garys. Always exciting to, when you have a couple of guys that have built such a strong friendship, that have each other's back no matter what. Having those guys on your team just makes your team that much better. And then having Van and Coach come out, Van's a great guy. One of the biggest little men you'll ever meet. Amazing story, and how he's persevering and doing so much to make sure things don't happen to others the way it's happened to him. And Coach Craven, I mean, what can you say about Coach? He's done so much in this league to help others and really make his mark in the league. Had a amazing linebacker and decided for the betterment of the team to move him up to the defensive line, and you can't ask for something better from a guy on your team, right?
Absolutely.
Interesting note, I wanted to just go back to Van real quick. Interesting note about Van Lacey, plays a strong safety. He's strong safety 1 for the Canton Classics, wears number 20. He's 6 foot tall, 205 pounds from Texas. And as I mentioned, he's a shorter guy. And because of that, he's actually never seen the top of a fridge.
Oh, that is great. That is absolutely fantastic. And that will get us going back here for the second half of action. Partner, what are you looking forward to here in the second half? And which interview pairing we've got coming up here in the third quarter and fourth quarter that you're most looking forward to?
So I'm looking for both offenses to just come out swinging here. The defenses have really put up a fight and kept the offenses, slow going so far. But for the most part, I'm looking forward to our fourth quarter interview. We've got Ross Napoli coming in and Christian Show, and those guys are great talkers. Like, I can talk, but these guys put me to shame when it comes to talking. And I love hearing what they have to say every time they talk.
And we'll get to that in the fourth quarter. And something we haven't done is announce the official starting lineup for the Louisiana Revolution defense. We'll get to that here after this first down play. Curtis is going to look to throw left side, looking for the screen route from Johnson. Johnson knocked out of bounds. The Los Angeles Lycan came over to Canton in the offseason. He joins here in Canton at tailback. And now for the Revolution defensive starting lineup for season 19. Brian Craven, Leonard Butler Sr., Neil Rivers, and Chance Wall make up the defensive line, with Nathan Blake, Blake B. Craze, and Slyn Shady at linebacker. Evan Arthur and Rollaman Hood are the corners, with Mike Ryan, Tank Bennett, and Dante Grimm at safety.
Some great players on that Louisiana defense, Tyler.
Few all-stars, as well as there's a whole bunch of all-stars on Canton. Deep pass over the middle, and it's Tank Bennett who takes it over. He climbed the ladder to snag it out of the waiting arms of Jack Wall.
Yeah, Tank Bennett, one of the top strong safeties in the league. He's a danger whenever he's out there in the middle of the field.
And just like that, it's Revolution football as we welcome back in Rowena once again to get us going once again with the interviews. It's a double whammy. We got 2 sets of interviews for you. And Rowena, introduce us to Kendra and Leonard Butler Sr.
Absolutely. Hi, Kendra. I'm here with Kendra Hall. How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So, Kendra, you are one of the biggest signings of this season's free agency. What made you decide to come to Canton?
I think what made me come to Canton was the fact that I could have a team in my home state, and also be right beside Mike All as well on the team.
Right. Yeah, no, I heard that. So being an Ohio native, it's pretty cool to be the hometown girl. We know you recently visited the Pro Football Hall of Fame with your team. What was that experience like for you?
It was interesting and fun at the same time. It was nice to be able to meet everyone and kind of just explain and talk about SFL and more about what the Canton Classics were all about.
Right. And I also hear that you do a lot in the social work field. Tell us a bit about that and what you love most about your job.
Yes, so I actually work for one of the local counties in Ohio in child welfare. I'm an ongoing caseworker. So I work with the families from the time that the investigation is over to the time that the case is closed. What I love working as a caseworker is the fact that I can help reunify the children back into the home with the families as long as all risks are alleviated.
And it's awesome. That is a beautiful job that you do and very important indeed. Thank you so much for your time, Kendra.
Thank you.
Mr. Leonard Butler, have I got you on the line here? So.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm just waiting around.
You're just waiting. I hear that. Mr. Butler, I hear that at 58 years of age, you started playing strap-up football in real life with 19 and 20-year-olds. What inspired you to do that?
I love football. I started playing football in Pee Wee and right on through junior high, high school, and some in the military. went one semester in Grambling and went to practice, and decided the Corps was more favorable to me than college was.
Right. And as you just said there, that you have such a love for the game of football, how did you find the SFL and what keeps you coming back
Oh.
each season?
I was channel surfing and run across it, and it was different. And I started inquiring about it, and when I heard that it was real people behind the players, and it just was really interesting for me. And plus that I was trying to play bass guitar, the piano, and the saxophone was kind of running my wife crazy. So I had to I had to get away from that and find something that wasn't so noisy.
All right. So she's got a bit of peace in the house now. That's good.
Yes, she does.
So I know that the staff in Louisiana values you much. So what are you as a player hoping to accomplish in season 19?
In season 19, I'm hoping that we will finish what we started in the beginning, and that's to go and win a championship. You know, the guys in the locker room are great. The leadership is great. You know, to put up with me, I know they have to be, because I can be a card at times. I love seeing people happy. I love being goofy at 64 years old. I like seeing people happy. I do, and I want them to be like a great R&B group, stay together. And most of us, we're a real fine knit family. We are, and I like that. And one of my little catchphrases is "revolution for life," and that to me means a lot. And I think really and truly the way the structure of the team is, they have the same outlook too.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, revolution for life. Thank you so much, Sarah. And I'm going to pass it back to Mike and Tyler if they have any further questions for Kendra Hall and Ned Butler here.
Yeah, Rowena, interesting note about Kendra Hall. She's wide receiver 1 for us in Canton. She wears number 14. She's 6 foot 4 inches tall, 195 pounds, like you said. She's from Ohio. But the interesting part is she once came in 3rd in a Kendra Hall lookalike contest.
I saw Mike. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Rowena. And Leonard, I want to ask you a question. You're always given the Revolution a riddle to try and work out. You have one for us this evening?
Well, I'm half brain dead right now, Tyler, but I think I can come for one with off the top of my head. If you pick up a nickel on the top side of a hill and roll a dime down the lower side of the hill, what will you have?
I think you still have that nickel, Leonard, but I think that's too easy. What do you got?
15 cents.
I love it. Thank you, Leonard. Thank you, Kendra. As we get back,
You're welcome.
as we get back here to Canton. Meanwhile, Louisiana had kicked a 47-yard field goal by the way of Otis Boudreau, and now Canton's on their drive. It's already 3rd down, Mike.
Yeah, this is like I said, it's back to the defense being knocked down, drag out. We just need to see these offensive just start punching it through and putting some points on the board.
Curtis looking for a deep ball. It's knocked away by Mike Ryan and into the waiting arms of another defender. It's Dante Grimm. All 3 safeties combining for yet another takeaway.
Yeah, last season, Louisiana showed just how ball hawking they are, and it looks like it's going to continue into season 19.
Just like that, the Revolution are back on the march, trying to get some more points on the field and maybe even tie up this football game once again, as we're just about to approach the halfway mark here in the 3rd quarter of this preseason game here in the SFL. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Mike All. We're in the booth, and we're just having some fun tonight as we get ready for season 19, which will start at the SFL convention in Las Vegas, Nevada, on the Strip at the Luxor Hotel at HyperX Arena. We cannot wait to be there. We cannot wait to show the world what the SFL is all about, because not only is the SFL on day one going to be in Las Vegas, which is already a prime destination, for the first time, the convention, the games at least, all 14 games will take place on one day. All of them will be streamed live, and all of them will be televised live on one of the SFL's partner networks, Next Level Sports. That's going to be an absolute treat as Squarebush picks up the first down. Mike, you're going to be there at the convention. I'm going to be there at the convention. What are you most looking forward to convention weekend?
Well, first and foremost, I'm looking to forward to seeing everybody that comes. That's the thing about this league, is it's about the people, right? It's about the relationships you build with everybody, and I'm looking forward to meeting everybody that shows up, because as far as I'm concerned, those are all my friends now. Everybody in this league, I enjoy every one of them, and I enjoy talking to them online, and just to get to meet everybody in person, that's a big deal. Secondly, getting to see us on the big stage in the HyperX Arena, that's going to be huge. I'm really looking forward to that, and I just got to say, if you're not at the convention, then you're probably someplace else.
Not a bad thing you're not at the convention. We understand, especially with the recent pandemic and with everything going on in the world, that it could be hard to get to the convention, but we do appreciate those that are going to and are going to support us even at home, as the pass over the middle intended for number 81, Levi Lease, one of the new signings, undrafted rookie for the Revolution, unable to haul in that ball, and it's 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line. I can't wait to see everybody there. That's what I can't echo those sentiments strongly enough, Mike. It was a really, really great time in Houston a season ago, I should say a year ago, and it's going to be even more fun in Las Vegas. Squarebush through the middle, busting through tackles, and right there at the half-yard line, unable to cross the plane, but does pick up the first down within 1 yard of the sticks.
Yeah, that was a great run by Squarebush. I thought he was in for sure, but Frank Bernstein managed to slow him down and stop him right at the goal line there. Interesting note about Frank Bernstein: he plays free safety 2 for Canton, wears number 25, 6 foot 1 inches, 215 pounds, from the state of Wisconsin, and he actually grows his own facial hair.
Well, I hope he grows his facial hair. Squarebush gets the call right side, tried to stretch it when he had a hole up the middle. He go it nowhere. Loss of 2.5 on the play, and it's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, that was a nice tackle by Mike Gall. Let me tell you about Mike Gall. He plays defensive end 2 for Canton, wears number 77, 6 foot 6 inches tall, 269 pounds, also from Wisconsin, and he once rode the bus by himself.
Well, that's good for Mike Gall. 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line for the Revolution. Utah, quick drop, looking to throw into the end zone, is tipped off the helmet of the receiver, and incomplete, 3rd down.
That was interesting. I thought we were going to see a David Tyree catch there with just putting your hand on your helmet and catching the ball, but Gary Clem broke it up pretty well.
Clem broke it up. It rattled off the helmet of Chase Earl and then fell incomplete. Great awareness, though, as Louisiana tried to hit another corner route, but nothing doing that time around. It's 3rd and goal here for the Revolution on Canton's 3-yard line, which started at Canton's half-yard line, and nothing doing in the last 2 plays. Can the Revolution punch it in here on 3rd down? Utah going to look to throw again, looks over to the right side, and is picked up in the end zone! A clutch play for the Classics. J-Rock hauls that one in, and Canton will take over at the 20.
Yeah, J-Rock actually came over from the Atlanta Swarm, ready to find himself in the starting position, where he played CB3 over in Atlanta. He's now CB2 over here in Canton, wears number 37. He's 6 foot 3 inches tall, 190 pounds, from the great state of Texas. And in his free time, he enjoys spending time in the freezer section of the grocery store.
I echo the sentiments in chat. This is a close one, and it's only the preseason. Wow, we have an explosive season 19 to look forward to. Pass over the middle, Caught First Down Classics as Al Dilpree Sr. hauls it in. And I want to welcome back in our third member of the broadcast crew, Rowena, as we've got the second half of the doubleheader for interviews here in quarter number 3.
Thank you so much. I'm here with Mr. Neil Rivers and Mr. Gerald Smith. I'll start my questions with you, Sam. Neil Rivers, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well.
I'm glad to hear it. So, Neil, you're coming off an SFL championship winning season. Congratulations. And just when you think things couldn't get any better for you, you get drafted by the East Division Championships, the Louisiana Revolution. Tell us what the draft process was like for you.
Yeah, the last few weeks have been amazing. Couldn't have asked for a better team to get a start with the Albuquerque Adams and all the teammates over there and coaching staff. We really came together, started out 0-3 and won 7 straight games in a row to win the championship. So that was definitely special. As far as the draft, I started talking to Louisiana pretty early on. And the first time I talked to Louisiana, I talked to Tyler and Ross for about an hour. Then I talked to Gerald and Ross for about over 2 hours. And I think we just hit it off. And from there, it was just hoping I got drafted by Louisiana. And luckily, that's what happened.
I'm glad that came true for you. Congrats. So Louisiana is league renowned for having a stellar locker room. What's it been like getting to know your new teammates so far?
It's been good. I've been welcomed in. This locker room is a little crazy, a little funny. There's riddles going on. Just a cast of characters. It's a lot of fun, and it's definitely a place that I look forward to getting into more and more as the season goes along.
Oh, good. Yeah, it sounds like quite an experience with all these different riddles going around.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. It's fun, though.
Okay, I'm glad. So joining an already successful franchise with a terrific locker room sounds like a lot to look forward to in this season, season 19. What else are you looking forward to the most?
Just the camaraderie with teammates, and the locker room is crazy and funny, but it does have a family atmosphere as well. Just looking forward to the season getting started and hopefully just having a successful season, doing everything I can to help the team is what I want to do.
Oh, for sure. No, definitely. And just my last point here, not necessarily a question. I know it's your son's birthday this weekend, so I don't know if you want to just go ahead and give him a shout out.
Yeah, it's my son, Seth. He turns 15 today. Actually, I want to get them tomorrow. We'll celebrate it tomorrow. So happy birthday, Seth. Love you to death. Of course, I love my daughter as well, Mackenzie.
Of course. So shout out to Seth. Happy birthday. And Mackenzie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great speaking to you. Right, now switching over to Mr. Gerald Smith. So are you there?
Yes, I'm in.
Hello. So you are the founder of the Louisiana Revolution. Tell us about the roots of this franchise and the concept behind it.
In season 14, the used to be the New Orleans Pharaohs. It was up for sale. So I'm like, oh, I said, I live about 45 miles south of New Orleans, if you can get any further south than New Orleans, right? But I'm like, yeah, I said, so I was able to purchase the team, and the inspiration behind, the team itself, the revolution and all that stuff is, rooted with, I am Native American, and I'm part of a tribe here, the United Homa Nation, which is in the city of Homa, which is where our team is based. And I wanted to name the team, not just represent any specific city, but kind of represent the whole state, which is why the Louisiana Revolution. So, and that's what it was, right? For like us, in my tribe, we were not recognized by the federal government as being a legit tribe. So it was just a little thing for me saying, hey, look, hey, let's just kind of start a revolution, and and why not, do a little bit inspirational stuff with the team and the name, and and also like our logo, our horse logo is
Right.
a tribute to the horses up in northern Louisiana around the Fort Polk area. Those wild horses were just roaming free land, and and they were forced out of their native homeland, and stuff like that, similar to what Native American history tells us as well. So that was our type of how we how I got together and just put revolution and the horse together, and just it just worked for us.
That's awesome. I really love that. It's great to hear that home state pride and that tribe pride there, raising awareness. So that's awesome.
Right. Yep.
Tell us about the evolution of the revolution. Where did you get the idea of the first team to ever field two running back?
Well, it really comes from our wonderful GM Ross. He would always call me up and say, "Hey man, just hear me out, right? With these crazy ideas." He said, "But look," he's like, "just hear me out." And I'm like, "Oh man, what now?" Right?
Right.
So, and he brought the idea to me, and I listened to it, and I'm like, "That's not gonna work." Was my initial reaction. So, and once it happened, and I got with Brian Craven, coach, and talked to him about it. He's like, "You think that could work?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think it might be able to work." He's like, "I don't know how we're gonna do it, but Ross being the great GM that he is, and we worked it in a way that's
Mhm.
gonna work, and we like doing new, different things, right? Like doing things, like Craven said earlier, something different. That's something the league has never seen before. Two high valued running backs on the team and being able to utilize them. So, and it was pretty satisfying, right? When we drafted a running back, people kind of just scoffed at it, and we were able to do it with great success by reaching the semifinals. So, but it was just something that Ross wanted to do, and it was just the pressure was on Craven and I to make it work.
Well, that is awesome. It sounds like some serious teamwork that you guys have going on there. What is it about the relationship between both you and Ross that makes this team work so well?
Um, I've I've always, and look, and anybody who's a part of our team, and our staff, is can tell you. I always tell them that, one person can't do it alone. We all have to come together, right? I'm the majority owner, Ross is the minority owner, but we just happen to be the couple of guys that actually own the team, right? But it takes all these pieces to make it work. So, and in that process, I, some people are afraid to approach their leaders with any kind of a type of change that they may want, or opinions they have, or ideas. For fear of getting rejected. And Ross is the guy. He's like, look, I'm always, I wanted people to say, hey, if I don't think I'm doing something right, hey man, tell me. So we've always been open, and it's the same thing with our staff members and our players. We've always been open with hearing ideas and stuff like that. And I think it just, cultivates a good, a very, very good open relationship across the board. And if you can do that, I think it only builds stronger relationships. So, and through that, Ross and I have become great friends. Because we work closely together, whether it's, social media stuff to marketing stuff for ourselves, or, and players and stuff like that. So, and Ross is a talker, and I'm a talker. It's like Neil Rivers just said, right? Like he was on the phone with Ross and I for like 2 hours. So,
Right.
um, so we're just really talker guys. So, but yeah, just through that, getting everybody for one common goal, and everybody doing their part, and the sky's the limit for us, right? If we can do that and get everybody happy, because that's what's important to me, right? Make sure the players
Right.
and everybody here is as happy as they can be, because if they're not happy, it
Hmm.
makes we're doing something wrong
Right.
here. But we want everybody to be happy. So, and that's just what we're looking to do here.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, for sure. Communication is key. And yes, where you may be talkers, but it sounds like you guys are good listeners too. And that makes a great environment for your team. So that's great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Not a problem.
I'm passing it back to you, Mike and Tyler.
Yeah, thanks, Rowan. I just want to jump in real quick. Neil, I had great time talking to you during your minor league season, and I'm real proud of you for making it onto the Louisiana Revolution. You're gonna do very well there.
Appreciate that, Mike.
Gerald, quick question for you. I know for a fact that you have one big regret in the SFL, and I think that goes back to the season 15 draft. Do you want to tell everybody about that?
It's just Ross's fault. Okay, so we could have drafted Mike All, and Ross decided to trade up and draft someone else, and that's pretty much it. And the guy bailed on us. So that's not true. It was a thing where there was a guy on the board. Mike All was still there, and I was the guy that said, yeah, we're gonna trade up for this other guy. And Ross says, no, that's a terrible idea. And I said, no, man, this is gonna work. And lo and behold, we trade up, we draft a guy, and the guy kind of, bailed on us a bit mid-season when Mike All could have been on our team, and that's my fault, and I definitely regret that. That's why when Ross comes to me with crazy ideas, I listen now. I've learned my lesson.
And I'm sure he truly appreciates that, Gerald. And we appreciate everything you've done, sir.
Yeah. All righty.
And that will take us to the end of the third quarter. Thank you to Kendra, Leonard, Neil, and Gerald for their interviews as we get set for the fourth quarter. Everybody, get your 4s and 86s up in chat as we are just about set to go once again. Here in the fourth quarter from Canton, Ohio, the Classics lead 16-13 as it is now fourth down for the Revolution on Canton's 21. They're going to try and kick a field goal to get us all knotted up once again.
And with the best kicker in the SFL, I'm pretty sure this is going to be straight through, Tyler.
Snap spot. Boudreau's kick is up, and we begin the fourth quarter the same way we started the football game. All tied up, this time at 16 apiece.
Yeah, it's definitely been a back and forth battle, Tyler. It's going to go down to the final minute, and whoever scores in that final minute is taking home the victory here, I think.
So Boudreau will kick it off to begin the... You see, it's the preseason. There's going to be times when we as broadcasters mess up because it's our time to get back in the swing of things too. But Boudreau gets us underway once again. The turn starts from near their own goal line. He brings it out all the way to about the 23-yard line. That's KJ Alacio on the return. And Christian Alacio, or that's Aldilapre Sr. My apologies. I get the 11s and 17s mixed up. Good thing it's preseason. Anyway, back to Christian Alacio. Christian and Ross Napoli both came to me earlier in the week saying, hey, we should probably put a preseason game together. What do we got to do to get something like that going? Well, they're both here on the call with us, and so I hand it over for one more time tonight to Rowena. You've done a fantastic job tonight. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and get Christian and Ross on the line for us.
Thank you. Again, it has been an absolute pleasure and an honor to be here with you. Thank you for allowing me the chance. So, here I am with KJ Alacio. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Now, there have never been two minor league players that were awarded an expansion team. But with you and Adam Chance achieving that set the stage for the Classics to do things a little differently in the SFL. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. This whole thing
was pretty fortunate for Adam and I to be in this position and to be able to be here. And I think us becoming the owners of this team from the minor leagues really was a great launching pad for us to want to keep that going. So we brought in some staff members who could help out with that. Obviously, Mike Hall had a great idea of being the first ever expansion team in the progression era to not draft. We're bringing real world opportunities as well. I think that's what makes this team so special. And obviously the other 27 franchises do a great job at what it is that they do. We just want to be great at what we do as well. So bringing some of those real world opportunities is a part of it.
Right. So you talk about those real world opportunities. What was it like spending your first ever weekend at the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Oh, it was incredible. First off, shout out to our wide receiver one, Kendra Hall, Ohio native, for making the trip. She was a huge part of that trip being successful, and it was great getting to introduce her to, David Tyree and Sean Alexander and Anthony Munoz and Mike Munoz and Dave Robinson and so forth and so on and more and more and more at such a special location, to be in the real city of Canton, Ohio, getting to meet the real people, having her at the booth and getting her to explain what the SFL is, what it can do for people from her perspective as a player and at the booth. She was a big part of that success, and we are just so honored, so thankful to have our friends at the NFL Alumni Association, to have our friends at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and to be able to spend the Classics' very first weekend there at the hall.
That's awesome, some big names there. So being so new to the league, your staff has played a huge part in the team's progress. Can you tell us what makes that so special?
Absolutely. Mike All, he's just got such a great head around this GM thing. He's clearly got it down pat. What he did for Jacksonville was incredible. I think puts him top 5 in the league currently. And when he starts to do things like becoming the first expansion team to not have to draft, he starts moving his way up the list, the ladder of greatest GMs of all time in this league, in my opinion. Obviously, only time will tell if that is going to come to fruition. But if he keeps doing things like this, he's a shoo-in for sure. We went out and got a rock star head coach in Mike Twinscrew. By the way, Ross was a good piece in getting us even started with those guys. So thank you to Ross as well. But you talk about Twinscrew, and that guy is a dog. He's got that tenacity, that intensity. It's on like that Michael Jordan level when he just snaps and just starts stimming all day long, and I love that about him. Absolutely love that work ethic. I strive to be that way. I'd love to be more like Mike Twinscrew in that regard. So looking forward to that dog in him helping us have a tremendous season. But the staff's been great. Obviously can't say any of that without mentioning my co-owner, Adam Chance, right? That dude's just been so awesome ever since day one of meeting him in the SFLM as part of the San Jose flight. Flight up, shout out San Jose, great season with those guys. But Adam has been tremendous since then. We've really fostered this friendship, and gotta say, I love that guy. The staff is put together so well, and I'm very much looking forward to what we can do with it.
That's
Christian.
wonderful. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Rowan. I just want to jump in. Christian, there was a mention earlier about those real-world opportunities, and you guys, to the best of my ability, are the first team in SFL history to also sign a head chaplain, Darian Gray. You want to tell us a little bit more about Darian?
Absolutely. So Darren Gray, tremendous guy, over 35 years of professional chaplain experience in the NFL. So there was a point when all 32 teams in the league did not have a chaplain. But they did a study, and the study showed that teams that had a chaplain had a dramatic increase in morale boost, regardless of the players' religious preferences or anything of that nature, their specific faith. Just having a person in that room really brought that positivity. And the guy who headed up that study for the NFL was actually Darren Gray. So he's the guy that all the other chaplains turn to So yeah, we are the first to have it, and we're so thankful to have Darren with us. Really looking forward to seeing him get the team hyped up and ready the same way any NFL team would, right? And that's what we wanted. If the NFL team has it, we want this organization to have it. So who better to have than the guy who broke ground for all the N32 NFL teams to have one themselves. So
Thank you, Christian. We're gonna back over to you. Sorry for interrupting.
No. Please do chime in when you can. And thank you very much, Christian, for your time. I'm going to be moving on to Mr. Ross Napoli.
Yes, thanks for having me on.
Oh my
Wonderful.
goodness. I'm sorry, guys. I have to interrupt again. A Statue of Liberty interception to the back of the end zone by Rolliman Hood. Holy cow, this game is tight, Mike.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like that's
You catch that?
yeah, that's the second interception in the end zone by either team tonight. This is such a defensive battle. It's amazing to see.
What an incredible interception. Rowena, back over to you as Louisiana takes over on offense.
That is one and timely as well. Hello, Ross. How you feeling about that?
Absolutely fantastic. Rolliman Hood, one of the best defensive backs in this league. SFL all-time leader in pick sixes, and looking like he's not losing a step going into season 19 with that one.
That is wonderful. Now, over to my questions now. So you clearly play a big part in what Louisiana does. What's your favorite thing about being a general manager?
Getting to talk. I'm a talker, as they've all alluded to already.
Right.
Not shy. I've been on a lot of these shows. I've been on Coach's show. I've been on Tyler's show. I've been on them all. But getting to know these guys, getting to know these players inside and out, and the friendships outside of it as well. Mike All and I have been friends for a long time here since we both came into the league. Gerald had said it, him and I have become very good friends, like family. I love that guy. I'd do anything for him. He gave me this opportunity, and I relish it every day. Being able to speak to guys like Neil Rivers, like we did Tyler when we recruited him, and to spend time with the guys that we've been able to do. I agree with Christian's sentiments about Mike Twinscrew, another great guy in this league, a guy that I'm proud to call my friend. Spent plenty of seasons with Mike as teammates on the same coaching staff in the minors, where Mike was an integral part of us winning a championship. Can't say enough about the guys that we've had here in the league, that we're able to do it. Coach Craven, one of the very first friends that I made in this league. I tell him often that I thank him for putting me in the right direction, and he is an integral part of where I am today. I know he doesn't like to take credit for that, but he's a great guy, another great friend, and I'm really glad that he's now in Louisiana with us. And just being a GM and piecing together this roster that Gerald has given me the responsibility for has really been the time of my life, spending with these guys. I just can't say enough about these guys, like Leonard, Tommy Utah, Dante Grimm, Randy Squarebush, recruiting Lyric Da Vinci and Sutter this year. It was just an experience that you really enjoy those times as a GM.
No, yeah, I can imagine. And it's so nice to hear just how complimentary you are of all of the team members here across the different teams. That's really great. Now, you have such a great attitude, but do you ever come across like a challenge? Like, what has been the biggest challenge in your job? And does your attitude shift when you approach it?
And I'm sure a couple of people on this broadcast know how my attitude has shifted from time to time. I can say that our color guy here tonight, my buddy Michael, has had to make my attitude shift a couple of times from snaking a couple of people from us this season. So he's, he was able to take away some free agents where, I haven't been used to that. My ego gets bruised when Mike is able to sign some free agents away that I couldn't get to Louisiana. So,
You're welcome, Ross.
Oh, and as if on cue, the Classics go ahead and take the football back. Bob Funk with another interception, and the Classics now will get back on offense in a tight 16-16 ball game. Back over to you, Rowena.
Thank you. No, I'm sure. So as you were saying, Ross, yes, people have had to make your attitude shift when approaching it. But has that been the biggest challenge then? Having your ego bruised, or having to get over that?
It's definitely a big hurdle for me. Anybody who knows me knows that I take a lot of pride in what I do. So yes, I tend to get a little.
Oh, what a
I
run!
tend to get a little upset with.
Robert Johnson is loose and he's down the middle of the field. Touchdown, Canton! A scamper of 46 yards, and he had all the gold jerseys in front of him, and Canton takes the lead.
Beautiful block there by number 73, Girth Lord. Just opening up that hole and making sure Robert Johnson was untouched.
A very nice
He's
run.
A great block, I see holding.
Of course, of course. What did you say, Ross, at the beginning of this call in pre-production? What did you say if Canton won the game?
If Canton wins, it's only preseason. If we win, I'm never going to let Christian hear the end of it. And clearly, we all saw his guy cheat right there. But listen, I mean, if that's how they have to win this game, we'll have to. That's all.
Let me just point out a couple of notes here, just to get on Ross's good side. The run there by Robert Johnson, who's the running back for Canton, number 33, 6'1", 230 pounds from Minnesota. He is a huge My Little Pony fan. And we saw that great block by Girth Lord there. He's the center, number 73 for Canton. He's 6'4", 330 pounds from the great state of Texas. He is also, many people don't know this, he is also the inventor of the Hostess diet plan. And that extra point kicked in there by Rob Ems. He's the kicker for Canton, number 1, 6'3" tall, 215 pounds, from New York. He actually once lost $1 in a public toilet.
Please tell me it was not the same dollar found by another one of his teammates.
It may have been.
Oh my goodness. Where do you find this stuff, Michael? I know you're all over the place, but I didn't know you were all over people's backstories.
You just that's what me and Ross do as GMs. We talk to people.
There we go. Square bush on a run.
Yeah, you do.
Picks up about 8 yards. Penalty on the play. We'll get the call from RC62 as we head back to Rowena and Ross.
Thank you very much. Well, actually, Ross, this is bringing me to the end of my questions, really. But you've clearly developed a friendship with each of the different team members. Great communication, great listener. But you've also developed one in particular with Christian, the owner of Canton Classics. What makes you want to see Canton Classics succeed?
Exactly what you just referred to. I consider many people in your locker room over there friends. Mike Hall, Mike Twinscrew, Cam Curtis, Odette Boudreau, Kendra Hall. These are all people that I have had contact with. I've developed friendships with. Definitely want to see you guys be successful on multiple levels. I'm ecstatic to see the things that Christian and Adam are bringing to this league on and off the field. To be able to see my buddy Mike piece together an all-star roster in a season where, the salary cap does not go up, and you have to convince guys to kind of take pay cuts and to adjust certain things and to see the success that he had to piece that roster together. It's impressive. He should be proud of that. I'm proud of him for whatever that means, whatever that means coming from me. What can I say? I've developed individual personal relationships with both Adam and Christian. I think the world of both of them. They're great guys. Christian and I can't seem to have, like Gerald and I, we can't seem to have a conversation that goes less than 2.5 hours. So I think we're going to go ahead and consider ourselves good enough friends there where I can certainly root for him and hope that you guys do everything on the field that teams are hoping that they do in their season, and especially in the division you're playing in. There's no two ways about it. Everyone knows how I feel about the London franchise, and I hope Canton kicks their ass. So, it's no secret that I think that is Canton's division to lose, and I hope that they have every bit of success. But you'll fall short to Louisiana in the championship, but you would have had a very good season.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much for everything, Mr. Napoli. And Mike, that brings me to the end and concludes the interviews with the great team players, and where we've learned that friendship, community, leadership, and clearly great humor makes this season one you don't want to miss. Back to you guys.
Rowena, thank you so much for being here tonight. Those interviews were excellent. Thanks again for being a part of the broadcast. Maybe we'll see more of you during the season. Maybe we can get you on a few different calls with the broadcast team. We'll have to be in touch after the show. But again, great job today.
For sure.
You've been fantastic.
Thank you all. Good luck with the season.
Thank you, Rowena.
Great job.
All right, 4th down now for Louisiana. Under 4 minutes to go, and out comes the punting unit for the Revolution. Only a preseason game. No need to try and get yourselves hurt or injured. So on comes Walter Melanishin to try and play the field position game. Canton's going to look to try and maybe block this one as here they come. But Melanishin is going to get this one off without any trouble. On the return now to Delpre Senior off to the right-hand side. A nice return from Senior as he gets all the way to the 36-yard line. And Mike, lots of great conversation tonight. I want to thank every single one of them for coming on. Gary Clem, Gary Burney, Evan Lacey, Brian Craven, Kendra Hall, Leonard Butler Sr., Neil Rivers, Gerald Smith, Christian Alacio, and Ross Napoli. Thank you, each and every one of you, for jumping on. Mike, your favorite interview and why?
Well, I'm going to say it's a tie. Certainly Gerald, because I got to pick on him about the JoJo Shalizzi pick. But also, Ross, he had a lot of good things to say, and I appreciate the respect and the fact that he brought us together with Adam and Christian and myself, and that's what really got the ball rolling for this team. That's why we are where we are right now, and I really appreciate that friendship that has developed between Ross and I.
2nd and 7 now here for Canton. On their own 39-yard line. They're trying to milk as much clock as possible here to close out this preseason game. Handoff through the middle. Johnson is stood up at the 40-yard line. Maybe only a gain of a yard. It's a huge hit from outside linebacker Blake B. Craze, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a big hit, and I'm sure Robert's going to be feeling that one in the morning.
Just over 2 minutes to go. This could be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Curtis is going to line up under center, trips to his right.
An interesting note about Cam Curtis. He's the QB for Canton, wears number 15, but he is a giant of a man. He is 6 foot 8 inches tall, biggest quarterback in the league.
Oh my goodness.
223 pounds from Massachusetts. Interesting fact about him, Tyler, is he's always wanted his own Oompa Loompa.
Well then, maybe he'll get one. But he does not complete the pass as Slyn Shady knocks it away. And it brings up 4th down. Louisiana have a little bit of life as here comes the punting unit led by Doug Six, undrafted rookie free agent.
Yeah, interesting note about Doug Six, and I have a lot to say about Doug Six, actually. He's actually a Canton native. Was first introduced to the team at the Fatherhood Festival in Canton, where Christian and Kendra and Josh Bach were. So we were really excited to bring him into the fold. Actually played a lot of punter in real life, which is why he was so excited to come in and punt for us. Wears number 6 to match his name, Doug Six. 6'1" tall, 205 pounds, like I said, from Ohio. And his biggest hope is that someday he will also be a double digit.
Maybe. As the pass falls incomplete, that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Canton have the lead. Louisiana down by 7 have the football, and it's 2nd down and 10 from their own 28-yard line. And this preseason came like so many over the past couple of days in the league on various different YouTube channels and Twitch channels have all come down to a very climactic conclusion. Pass over the middle, caught near midfield, and down goes Chase Earl. A huge pitch and catch from Utah to Earl, and Louisiana are 50 yards away from pay dirt.
Yeah, Chase Earl managed to find some room there from Connor Darien. Connor Darien, the cornerback 1 for Canton, wears number 21, 6'2" tall, 209 pounds, from the state of New York. Interesting note about Connor is on the weekends, he makes sculptures out of cheese.
Interesting. I've heard of sculptures made out of butter at the Minnesota State Fair, but not out of cheese. As Utah looks over the middle, dangerous pass, and that one is lucky to be not intercepted. Another huge deflection from Clem, but luckily for the Revs, it falls incomplete.
Yeah, with both the teams' defensive backfields, it's dangerous with any passing field.
2nd and 10.
Minute 50 to go. 2nd down for the Revolution. 4 wide receivers, trips off to Utah's left, and he's alone in the gun.
Gun straight formation.
Utah looking over the middle of the crossing route. Caught. Gain of about 7. And here they come back to the line. Pass caught by Lyric Da Vinci. 3rd and 3. Defensive back showing blitz. They back off. Utah looking over the middle. Deflected off the arm. It's up in the air. Still being bobbled around, and it finally falls incomplete. Oh, boy. 2 dangerous passes from Utah, and it's 4th down.
That was a rough tip drill to watch there, Tyler. I don't know. I think every person on the Canton defense touched the ball there.
Unable to haul that one in was big number 42, Mark Gronick.
Yeah, Mark Gronick, inside linebacker 1 for Canton, wears number 42. He's 6'4" tall, 245 pounds, from the state of Illinois, and his favorite color is fish.
Favorite color is fish. I've heard of 2 + 2 = fish. Not being a color, though. Very interesting. 4th and 3. Louisiana need to get beyond the 40-yard line. Utah looking over the left-hand side. Caught first down near the 30. To the 31-yard line go the Revolution, and the drive continues.
Looks like they found the formation that really works for them, Tyler.
Fatherhood Festival Field goes quiet. Utah looking over the middle. Deflected, incomplete. Evan Lacey gets his paw up there to knock that one aside. 1:11 to go. What another exciting conclusion to preseason football. You want to catch the SFL proper? The regular season starts July 11th at the HyperX Arena at the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas. All games will be on YouTube at the Simulation Football League's official YouTube channel. Link to that is in the description of this video. Utah under pressure, gets out of 1, kick it out of 2, and he's down at the 39-yard line. A huge loss of about 8 yards on the sack, and they're pushed out of field goal range.
Yeah, that was a big sack by Gary Burney, but it was all set up by Chris Porter, defensive end 1 for Canton, wears number 62, 6'5" tall, 270 pounds, out of the state of California. He spends his free time teaching underprivileged children how to play 3-card Monte.
3rd and the size of an Ohio hill. Pass left side, deflected away by a streaking defender, Connor Darien. 4th down, upcoming again.
I'm pretty sure that Louisiana is in a position where they're going to go for this, Tyler.
Minute and change remaining. Down by a touchdown. Have to go for it. 4th and long. They have to get into the red zone. 5 wide receivers now for the Revolution. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Utah in the gun.
I'm looking for a big play from Odette Boudreaux here, Tyler.
Utah stepping up. Down goes Utah! And the Classics will take over on downs, and they all have but 59 seconds remaining in the football game. It's a wombo.
So I was looking.
Go ahead, Mike.
It was a big play there. I was looking for Odette Boudreau to make the big play there. ODB, as we call her over in Canton, the DT2, number 59. 6 foot 6 inches tall, 310 pounds, out of North Carolina. She actually taught the Wu-Tang Clan how to rap.
How about that? It was Chris Porter and Gary Burney who came up with the sack, and here come the timeouts for Louisiana. They're going to call it once. Curtis takes a knee. 58 seconds to go. 3 more downs. This game is mathematically, if I can speak and if I can do math on top of my head, over. And Canton is going to win this preseason football game to take their first unofficial victory in franchise history.
It was a great game by both teams, Tyler. Both teams were magnificent on defense. It was just the one play that made all the difference there.
Couple of clutch sacks, to name a few. Lots of turnovers for both clubs, but a couple of early turnovers for Canton to help propel them to this victory, partner.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And since we've got a little bit of time here, Tyler, I've got a few more notes to go over if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I'm going to start with wide receiver 3, Al Dillapre Sr., number 17 for the Canton Classics. 6 foot 3 inches tall, 225 pounds, out of Michigan. He is currently working on a recipe for meatless chewing gum.
Huh. Okay, you got any more for us?
Oh yeah, wide receiver 2, Mike Twinscrew, number 87 for the Canton Classics, also 6 foot 3 inches tall, 210 pounds, out of Virginia. He actually runs a rescue home for wayward cats.
Well, how about that? Helping out the feline population as we hit triple zeros here in the fourth quarter. It's Canton who comes away with the victory. 23-16, the final score here in this preseason game. Partner, got any more fun facts for us about the Canton Classics before we close up shop tonight?
You know, I'm just looking through my notes here, Tyler. I think we did cover a lot of our people out there tonight in this amazing game that it was fun to watch. I don't see any names that were truly missed, but fun fact about Canton is they just beat Louisiana.
That is a fun fact, something you can lord over us for maybe a couple of weeks before we hit the regular season proper. So, partner, what'd you think of the game? What'd you think of those interviews? And what are you most excited for in season 19 for not just Canton or Louisiana, but for the SFL?
Well, I was excited most about this game because of how well the defenses both played, and being a defensive player myself, as your client is, Tyler, it's always nice to see the defenses come out and show up the offense. And as far as the interviews, everyone was great, but my favorite was Rowena. She did a great job, and I'm really happy she was here with us tonight. She brought that class and elegance that someone from across the pond can do.
I completely agree.
Yes, most definitely.
So that is... Go ahead, partner.
As far as season 19, I'm looking forward to that first game, the first game at the convention, Tyler, because that's when Canton is officially unveiled to the world and get to start setting their own team records.
Well, Canton is going to play Minnesota to begin week 1. Louisiana will play Florida to begin week 1, and we hope to see you there July 11th. Over on the SFL's YouTube channel, link to which is down below. For more information about the SFL, visit their website at simulationfl.net. This has been an unofficial presentation of the SFL. We hope you've enjoyed some more preseason football and all the fantastic interviews done by everyone here, Rowena, Mike, and myself, Tyler Falk. Thanks again for stopping by. Season 19 begins in less than 2 weeks. Your player of the game here in this preseason matchup is Gary Burney. 5 total sacks, an incredible stat line. It's a defensive player who comes up with a player of the game. First time I've seen that in my life in the SFL. And that will do it for us tonight. We will see you next week for more NETMA, for more content created channels, including Swap Talk and a whole host of others. Go check that out on the SFL's official website. Until then, folks, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.